So we finished the 4-door Trektop NX install. If you want to see that, you can click to it below. Now we're going to do a 2-door JK Trektop NX. Since it's Bestop, we already have a Supertop NX on it. I'm going to take that off while we wait for Rick to finish his meeting and come out and help us with the install. Rick, you all set?
We're all ready, Jeff.
Okay, let's unbox this. Show everybody what we got.
Well, what we've got here is a Trektop NX for the JK Wrangler. It's the 2-door, 2007 up to current.
This one, I can tell you immediately, comes with these installed.
That's right. The side bows come pre-installed on this one.
Well, that makes it easier.
It makes it a lot easier.
Okay, so we'll take the deck out of here. Looks like we got the windows inside it.
Yep, got the windows inside, protected.
So shall we set this out in the sun?
You bet.
All right, Rick, so we've got door surround.
That's right, we got a right and left
Passenger,
door
driver.
surround. A rear bow for the top.
Right.
Comes with an arch bow to support
the top arch.
Tailgate bar for the rear.
Okay.
And a bag of bits and pieces that you use to put it all together. One size screw and nuts for putting on the pivot brackets to the door surround. We've got some seals that'll help with protecting your fabric and sealing against water when the top is installed. 2 tailgate bar mounts. 2 cable brackets for attaching your deck. A couple of knobs to hold door rails on, and a few straps to hold everything down once it's installed.
Oh, that's actually not much hardware for this.
No, this
and
one
that's
will go
kind of the
pretty
point of the Trektop NX, right? Is it's minimal amount of hardware on it.
Absolutely easy to put on, easy to take off, lots of different configurations.
So, cable mounting brackets.
Cable mounting brackets, you're going to need a 13mm wrench and a knife.
And a knife.
You're going to unzip the sport bar cover to expose the bolt on top. Loosen that up. Take it out.
So the bolt that's already here.
That's right. Bolt already on the Jeep. You'll need to use that position to determine where the cable bracket goes, and then you'll make a small slit in the sport bar cover to allow it to go through.
Oh, so I'm not tightening this down yet. I'm actually just using this to find out where to make my cut.
That's right.
All right.
You will put that bolt back in to put everything back together. There we go. Tighten that down and make sure it's secure. Then you can put everything right back together.
My guess is these are next.
That's right. Pivot brackets are going to get assembled to the door surround. 2 screws and 2 nylock nuts.
Use the same?
Those are the same. Same left to right. On the door surround, there's going to be 2 pre-existing holes. Bolts right up. Leave access to the nuts to the inside so it'll be easy to get your tool in there to tighten it up. Door surrounds and 2 knobs.
Looks like I've got the driver's side. This rubber seal here that I put the door surround on.
Yes.
Or as you guys in engineering call them, the mucket.
That's right. Leave the mucket alone.
Leave the mucket alone. So this just goes right on top of that.
You bet. Don't forget to check that seal up front, Jeff. Make sure it's not folded underneath there.
So this next?
Yep, top arch goes next.
All right, explain the paper.
Don't forget, you can remove and throw away this protective paper that's on here. There's no adhesive, so nothing's going to be left behind. No glue, no residue.
All right. While he's doing that, I'll put the tailgate brackets on because they're already installed.
So you set the foot on the hoop on one side, and then you push up in the middle and down by the foot, and it'll slide right into place.
We already had the Supertop on here, so the tailgate brackets are the same. But if you haven't got these on, they just pop right on. Great opportunity to talk about why we had this sitting out in the sun.
That's right. If you put this out in the sun, you get some direct sunlight. It's going to heat up. It's going to be a little bit easier to put on, a lot easier to handle.
Trektop NX fits really tight. I mean, it's one of the key things that people like about it. It's designed to fit that way. But if you try and do this on a cold day,
makes it real tough. Those windows and getting all the zippers lined up when it's cold, it's a little bit tougher. If you get it out in the sun, it'll help out a lot.
All right, where does this go?
So you want to make sure that you got the foam pieces set up with the right shape. The way you can tell that is there's a little notch that goes to the front and a half circle to the back.
Oh, so it's right and left.
Correct. So you put the foam on, you put the notch up here at the front and the half circle at the back. These are handed, so make sure you got the right and left ones on the correct sides. The other seal you'll put on goes right along the front.
So right there?
Mm-hmm.
And then this goes on the fabric?
Just goes on the fabric right at the leading edge.
So right about there?
Mm-hmm.
It's stuck to my finger.
To install the side bow, pull out on the spring-loaded knob, goes over the bracket, and then snaps into place.
So this is easy you just unbend this a little bit and it clips right into place to hold that bar in.
Open the sunroof up so you have some
slack
to work with, and then you install your cable to the bracket. So once you have some slack in the cable, hook it to the outboard hole, wrap it under the bracket, the cable comes out and under the cable guide. Next we're going to put the two tie-down straps on the center bow flap. Now we can close the sunroof and just engage the hook on the latch.
So I'm putting this over the latch, but I'm not latching anything down.
That's right, don't close it all the way.
Hey,
yet.
here's a trick I know, Rick. If you can't get that, you got to make sure that these are all the way open.
That's right, that'll make it much easier to get it hooked
just
in.
Pop. This seems like this should be like one of the easiest steps in the whole thing, but this seems upside down to me.
Most people think this is upside down, but it's done intentionally so that all the loose straps are to the inside.
Okay, so I just got to do this upside down and thread from this side. And go in. And then this hooks where? Right under here like this?
Hooks right under the belt rail, and you cinch it down, make sure your bow is centered, and now you got yourself a nice little bikini.
I really like this bikini top, Rick, because it fits really secure. The Trektop NX is my favorite bikini top. But we should finish the install and put the curtains on.
Let's put the windows in.
Side window and back window?
That's right. At the top of the window is an extruded channel that you're going to clip in right at the outboard edge, and then you can slide the window right across.
You did this, I heard that click.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I was missing when I put this in earlier, is I didn't get that nice positive clicking sound. There we go. Okay. So, Rick, I got to tell you, I know from customer support calls, people think this is a little too small.
It's going to look like it's small, but it's not. The window's going to wrap all the way around and zip to it.
So just be patient with that. Side windows.
Next step is the side window.
So I'm just getting this started.
That's right, you only want to go about 2 inches.
So now, before we finish tightening that zipper, we do the back one?
That's right, you want to start the back about 2 inches too. This is where people get a little frustrated sometimes and are convinced it's not going to fit, but I promise.
Okay. Well, I'll do it first because it's always easier to get started. Oh, you already did your side. All right.
After you've got the rear window zipped 2 inches, go tuck in the front retainer.
So I know the trick with this, Rick, is to make sure it's wrapped around this.
That's right. It's easier to start at the bottom and make sure you roll it all the way into the channel on the door rail.
So you know you've got this installed correctly if you close your doors and you don't see any stitches here. All the stitches are facing that way.
For the 2-door top here, we're going to go ahead and close the zipper on top of the window. And then tuck the belt rail in at the bottom. Next step is tailgate bar.
Oh, let me grab it. That way.
You always want to make sure that the seal is to the bottom and facing to the back.
There you go.
Slide that onto the retainer at the back and all the way across. Close it by rolling it into the tailgate clip. Last step, go ahead and close the rear zipper. Now this is where it's going to be really tight, so you need to have some patience and let it stretch out a little bit. Don't go get the pliers and try and close it.
So Rick, I'm having some trouble with the zipper on my side.
Well, it's going to seem like it's too tight, but if you let it stretch out, it'll be just fine.
So at this point, we just didn't leave it out in the sun long enough.
That'll help to loosen it up.
So this is a common concern, and I know this from listening to the customer service folks talk about it. What we're really suggesting at this point is patience.
That's right. You want to let everything stretch and loosen up. These tops are designed to fit tight, and they need to stretch a little bit.
So at this point, you'd recommend that I basically park this out in the sun and maybe turn the heat on inside the vehicle if it's a cold day?
That's right. If it's a cold day, park it outside with the top over, let it run with the heat on for a while, and it'll stretch out a little.
Okay. So lunch.
Maybe a beer.
Maybe a beer. And then come back and finish zipping this up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So finish zipping it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So still really tight, but I am now able to get that all the way down.
That's right. Both sides. They'll zip right up.
All right.
Don't forget to clip in the retainers at the bottom of the window and the side
window
panel.
one first and then the side one?
Yep. Rear goes
Over
first,
that
then the
way,
side.
kind of wraps over the top of it. There we go. Velcro.
Making sure your Velcro's nice and neat at the top and on the windows. And you're ready to go for a ride.
We haven't finished.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't clamp the hooks all the way.
Yeah, you got to put the latches down.
All right. And final step is to clamp that all the way down. So Rick, the install guide said 2 hours. It took us a little less than that, which plus included a lunch break.
Yeah, this will go together a lot quicker than a Super Top NX, a lot fewer parts.
It's great looking. So if you move away from the door there, I'll drive this one off.
Yeah.
Thanks much. I appreciate your help.
Hey, you bet.